We were able to catch up with Omar Gooding as he's been entertaining us on TV and movie screens since his on-screen debut over 30 years ago. Show business is in Omar Gooding's blood, as performing runs in his family. His father was a singer, and his brother Cuba is an actor just like him. Omar has been attached to some of our favorite sitcoms, like Hanging with Mr. Cooper and Smart Guy. So check out our interview with Omar as he calls in to discuss some of his favorite roles, longevity in Hollywood, and most importantly, to promote the new season of Family Time airing on Bounce TV. Joining us today on the Comedy Hype News Show is the one and only, you know him from Smart Guy, Hanging with Mr. Cooper, Mr. Omar Gooding, and so much more. Omar.
I don't know if y'all sound effects is working. I think I brought my own.
You look like you're celebrating.
Oh, we still celebrating around here. Next question. I thought this was the Laker fan press conference. This ain't it? That's it? This ain't what we're doing?
No, wrong one.
I'm gonna take the glasses off.
But we appreciate you joining us for the Comedy Hype News Show.
Hey.
Also on the line, we have our comedy analyst, Mr. Pierre, as well.
Yes.
So thank you both.
No, can I get some horn?
What up, boy?
There it is, Omar. Good seeing you, brother. Good seeing you, man.
Let's kick it off. So, Omar, you've been in the game for a long time. You've been in this industry, really pushing and working, and I know you've probably seen a lot as well as experienced a lot. Yep. And right now, what we're seeing is a lot of racial injustice being brought to the forefront of Hollywood. Yep. So as someone who's been in the industry for as long as you have you ever, had your own experience with racial injustice?
Oh, of course. I mean, this when you're 44, I'll be 44. Yeah, that's right, 44.
Looking good for 44.
44.
Okay, you know, black don't crack.
Oh yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. I mean, I started as a child actor. It was a lot of smiles, a lot of laughter. And I would kind of find out about things after, and cut. Did you see what they was doing? Your dressing room is over here, like that type of shit.
Right.
But on a serious note, I think it's getting better for us. I think that what you can take away from this awful freaking year with all of this, not only COVID and the social injustice,
the president, everything
we have, the president. Yeah, I mean, get your eyes out there and vote, y'all. We gotta make some things happen.
Hi there, I'm Kim Coles, just stopping by to remind you it's voting time. People are trying hard to stop you from voting, so clearly your vote matters. If you didn't vote yet, go vote. If you already voted, great. Call a friend and tell them to vote. Every single vote will make a difference. Now, I like to spread love and laughter, but this election is absolutely no joke, so you need to be vote ready. And if you have a problem voting, no problem at all. Just call 866-OUR-VOTE. That's 866-687-8683. On behalf of Georgia Black Women's Roundtable and the People's Agenda, grab your ID, your mask, your music, a book, snacks, a raincoat, a lawn chair, and go sit or stand in line and vote. Oh, and by the way, woo. Vote!
Is that it seems like real change is at least beginning. It's opening a lot of doors for actors like myself and across all the way. I mean, whether you do independent or you do these large productions, there's a common ground now being found, and it's cool to be black for a different reason now. I mean, it's like.
Now, it's always been cool to be black. White folks just getting it.
It's a different cool now. It's
right.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like we got like black privilege. Is that a thing? Can we use that? Is that?
I'll take whatever you give us.
We got some black privilege coming. It's I'm gonna use my black privilege card.
Black just do. Well, as an actor, you got to fight for every bit of respect you can get. You know what I'm saying? Because if people don't realize it, every little bit. Sometimes we just say, make the playing field even. All we want is even.
Omar, something that you did mention was, and it's something that I feel like has been a part of your brand. I always notice it about you. It's smiling, being in these rooms is kind of just like, hi, So as a kid, like we've always known Omar. If Omar didn't do anything, Omar was going to smile. Was that like something that just came natural for you as a kid, or was that something that was, a learned behavior?
It was definitely natural, but it was also something like my mom she was like my manager, my momager. As a child, actually, like go in that room and make sure you smile and you make them listen. Smile and you'll get their attention, and then just don't stop grinning.
And Paul Mooney actually used to have this bit that was, when you grin, you win. So it just makes me wonder, like, do you think that was like a way for your mom to kind of put in your mind so you don't come off as a threat as a Black man in Hollywood?
Sure. I mean, especially, it's like I said, I started young. I started like 9, 10 years old.
Yeah.
But I was always big. You know what I mean? You walk in, how old is he? You're only 9, 10? Okay.
Right.
Yeah, smile. Okay, good. Yeah. Disarm them. But yeah, I'm sure it helped as an icebreaker, having, people talk, oh, your brother's famous, and then you just slid right in. It's like, nah, he wasn't famous when I started. You know what I mean?
Right.
He didn't get to show me the money didn't happen until I was already 19, 20 myself. You know what I mean? I started at 10. I had to work for
let me ask you something. Omar, let me ask you something. That's interesting you said that. For those who don't know, Cuba Gooding Jr. is his brother, which everyone should know. But did you ever feel like you was in the shadow of him, man, or had to do extra a little harder, to impress people? Because,
no, I mean, it was
kind of big.
always a plus when they found out that he was my brother. You know what I mean?
Wow.
But it wasn't. It just wasn't a thing until he won the Oscar. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So like, he's
yeah.
9 years older than me. So he started when he was like 19. I started when I was 10, 11. Then by the time I was 12, I had a show, you know what I mean? And he was doing a lot of television at the time. And then when he got his big break, he won an Oscar. But, people get that confused because that's where the cultural divide is. They were like, oh, man, he got an Oscar. Now you got to get an Oscar. That's not how Oscars work for Black folk.
I was going to say.
He got one. That was like it for the 10, 20 years. Like, we didn't think, we weren't like, oh, you're going to get one next. No, man, he got the Oscar. Like, we were just happy that we got it. And his last name is Gooding. So it was like we got one.
But why wasn't no pressure on you? How did you handle not having the pressure of trying to be like that? You know what I'm saying?
It just never felt like pressure. Like when I go into a room, right? If I go and let's say it was an audition and it was they say, Omar Gooding, any relation to the other Gooding? Yeah, Cuba Gooding.
Oh, Nick, bro, you look like him.
Then they'd be like, oh my God, I love him. You know what I mean? Yeah, you look like him. And then, and then it was more of an icebreaker. You know what I mean? But it was never like, oh, that's your brother? Okay, you better nail this then. It just was never that.
That's cool.
And I think that kind of helped. That had to help too, because it was like it's just a plus, but that doesn't necessarily make who you are now.
Yeah.
Like you said, you started out young, but one of your first roles that I remember is in Hanging with Mr. Cooper. You were one of his students. Yeah. Irvin, right?
Yeah, Irvin Rodman.
Irvin.
Man.
Yes. So there's actually a floating myth, if you will, that goes around that maybe you can help us clear up. So it was said that when Mark Curry went to his locker, that there was a noose hanging in his locker, in reference to hanging with Mr. Cooper. And he, eventually left set that day and shut everything down that day. As someone who was, on the set, do you remember, anything?
No, not at all. I mean, the thing is that doesn't really ring a bell, but I don't doubt it. Now, the exact experience for me on Hanging with Mr. Cooper was interesting because I was in the, when you sell a show, you start with a pilot, but before a pilot, you start with a presentation. I was in the presentation, we sold that, then we reshot the pilot, and then I got picked up for 7 out of 13. So I wasn't in every episode. I wasn't in every episode for the whole 5. I didn't become a series regular till the last 2 seasons on the show. So there were a couple of episodes I wasn't there. So maybe that could have happened then, but you would think that was something I would remember. I also had my own experiences and getting caught with guns and whatnot, and had a whole day of coming in, had to come and sit and I had to apologize. And Mark took me under his wing and said, look, bro, this is what you got to do. And you got, they wanted to fire your ass. You need to go and apologize and, express your remorse, which I did. And those were like the things that really brought us together as a unit on that show. But yeah, I don't remember that particular incident.
You brought a gun on the set, Negro?
No, Negro. I was out in public with guns in my vehicle with a couple of the homeboys, and we stopped at a nightclub, and one of the valet guys saw it, called the cops, and we got arrested out in front of the place.
God damn, you supposed to be the nice good man. Come on, man.
That's
the best of both worlds.
Grow up, they watch you on TV, and they get a
I know.
You know what I mean? They're like, oh, you that funny
true.
dude. Yeah, you ain't funny nigga. Make me laugh. Really? That's okay. Listen, that is a job.
That's right. And I definitely want to dive into that a little bit more later. But something that you
later.
did mention, I think is key.
Interview? No, let me go.
I know that's right. Yeah,
we'll get to that later.
One thing that you did mention is that you didn't doubt that it happened. So what was the environment like on set? Because I know you said that you didn't doubt that it it did happen?
Well, I mean, could
What was the
happen,
environment
especially that day and that time. You know, Mark was a bad boy, man. I mean, usually, you know, if you have any problems with someone, you're gone. You know what I mean? I remember there was a show called Thea, and this woman, you remember Thea? Yeah, man, and she was a nightmare. I worked on the show, and she was just a problem, and we're like, this thing ain't gonna go long, and then they canceled it. Now, I'm not saying that was about Mark, but it was interesting, and we went through a lot of executive producers on that show. Executive producers would get fired, and we still kept trucking along until we got to the last two. And one of the executive producers started a new show called Smart Guy, and said, "Hey, man, we need you to come check this out. I, want you to play the bully." And then that turned into a series regular, and then the story continued on from there. I'm just reminiscing and babbling.
No, you're totally fine. I was actually going to say that's what I wanted to get into next. Smart Guy, because you went from a Black sitcom, Hanging with Mr. Cooper, to not only another Black sitcom, but a Black sitcom that was pushing imagery of a Black kid being a smart kid. Like
positive,
how, I don't know if you knew it then, but looking back, like how proud or how does that make you feel to know that you were a part of something, a sitcom that pushed that?
Extremely proud, man. I mean, when you look at all the negative stereotypes and even with the resurgence of the show that I do now, Family Time, I'm like, oh man, that's a throwback to the shows that I grew up watching. I would think of Bill Cosby and the Cosby Show, and you had a brother, one was, he was a doctor, and then the wife, I'm not sure what Claire did. But it was like, no, we have these positive images that, we grew up watching. Why don't we remember these instead of, the negatives that are always pushed? But I think we know the reason for that.
Well, what do you think the reason is for that?
I don't know. I think it's tougher when you because there's like the clear-cut racists, and then there's the people in the middle have been exposed this year, I think.
Right.
In the middle, I have a couple of friends who are in the middle who are white and are friends, but they don't see the problem. They're like, well, I'm not racist, so I don't get it. No, it's not that bad. And then George Floyd, they said, oh, damn, they even voted for Trump. But they said they won't vote for him again because now enough is enough. Now enough is enough? Like what do you mean? Where the hell were you for? So anyways, all of these people, and then.
Now, something else that Comedy Hype has covered, and I know you're probably, this is probably near and dear to your heart, Black sitcoms, but we covered why UPN's Black sitcoms disappeared. There are so many theories and reasons, real, reasons, but just curious as someone
corny as shit. That's why.
In the industry,
terribly
what are your thoughts?
Why did they disappear? I mean, they ran
Black sitcoms
for quite a while. I mean, they probably just ran its course. They got tired of it and come up with nothing new. I mean, there wasn't many one and done sitcoms on there that I could remember. I mean, most of them ran for quite a while.
Very true.
I think a lot of and if you're not keeping it real, you're making up stuff and just being, like you said, corny. It's gonna die out, man. We can go ahead and let that die.
Exactly.
I moved on. When I stopped watching TV is when I stopped. I wasn't as heavily in it myself. I did a movie called Baby Boy, and I was like, all right, well, now I'm on other things. I'm carrying guns and shit. Like I'm doing different stuff. I'm not sitting at home watching TV. So I mean, it seemed like when I stopped watching, that they stopped making it. And then they kind of,
social. The internet broke that up, man. The internet broke that up, Omar. Come on, man.
So we know not just UPN sitcoms have passed, went on, but one for me that was like a heartache, and I know for many is Smart Guy. It was just like, I feel like it had to be, and I don't know if it was just my ignorance then, but it had to be. I feel like it had the ratings. We talked about now. We're seeing like things transfer over to internet and things like that. But back then, everybody was, watching TV. Everybody's at home, getting together to watch these. So when Smart Guy ended, was there any backstory to it? Was there any, reason that maybe wasn't shared with, us, the general public?
Oh yeah.
What was that?
I ain't telling you. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so what happened was that show began on like Pierre hit it at. It was like a favored nation. We were all being paid the exact same thing. When it began, this is like everyone's getting paid this. It was a good amount. We like, okay, sounds good.
Right. Okay, got you. That makes sense.
No, it was good. It was good. Life was good. So it was season 1, and it's like, okay, understandable. This is the WB. You know what I mean? We're all just kind of just getting started. All right, and we're all getting paid the same. Sounds good. That way no one fought over who deserved more of that type of thing. Because I don't know who was the most well-known. I mean, I'm coming off a sitcom, but I think Jason Weaver had the bigger name, in my opinion, at the time. So it was kind of like, Anyway, so before anyone started fighting about it, but one kid is the star. It's called Smart Guy. It's not called like a family. It's not called the Hendersons and this guy Mo. You know, it's called Smart Guy. So you would think he's getting paid this and da-da-da, but no, we were all getting paid the exact same. So, you know, that kind of taps into a little bit of everything we've been talking about. I don't know very many shows that would have went for that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Well, how many casts would have went for that, you know? But we did. So season 1, so be it. And yes, ratings were great. Season 2, same thing. Ratings are great. Season 3. Now, back then, when you do a season, it was 25 episodes. Mm-hmm. So we're 70 some odd episodes in, 60 episodes in, and one cast member has had enough. They said, no, I need a pay increase. We're like, we are in the middle of a season. You're supposed to do that before we started. You know, you agreed, we rocking, and he was advised to sit out. You know, I'm not coming to work next week until y'all change this contract. So the rest of us got a phone call and said, well, one of you is not going to be here next week. So this is what the script is going to be. It's going to be an episode about Marcus and Mo. How about that? And we said, all right, cool. Where's the other guy? Oh, he's off at camp or some shit. Oh, all right, bet. So we just continue. So if you watch the whole, you know, show, there's one episode where one person is not there. He's not there. Who is this person? And that was the final season of Smart Guy. So that's how it is. I mean, it was funny when even the fact that, you know, he didn't show up for work that one week, and then the next week he was there, and we went right on back to work. It was just kind of like, okay. For us, we didn't think, well, this is the end. We just thought, well, he tried it, and that's that. But I remember the very last day of filming, you know, it was like, great, another great season, another one in the can. They're like, yep, see you next year, right? And it was like, pause.
Wow.
You did good this year, you know, and good see you later, buddy. And it was just like, maybe want to start doing some other work. Yeah, let's get something else lined up for next summer because this, you know, this may be it. And that was it, man. That was it.
So was that in front of the entire cast? Like, you know,
it was
saying like, yeah, you know,
it was probably, I think it was probably a me moment where I kind of slid off and talked to like the producers and everybody that they kind of did like, yeah, you know, well, like we always do. See you again next time. And then I could tell, you know, I could read it, and he was just like, don't hold your breath, kid, you know. But
right,
you know what I mean.
Keep holding, keep
holding, and you know, God intervened in a way that was cool. I mean, it got picked up again by Disney, which really took it to another level. So, you know, people were seeing it for the first time on Disney, much bigger audience than WB. We went out to London and did a whole relaunch of it. And it was like the 3 seasons re-aired out there. So it felt like it went 6 seasons. So now it's like, oh, man, this super hit show that went on forever and ever and ever. Yeah, it went 3 seasons here and it went 3 seasons there. Yeah, I mean, I got 67 episodes. We got 60 episodes. Okay,
right.
And you know, and then Disney Plus picked it up, and now it's rocking again. So, it's definitely a blessing. And then when I watch it, man, I crack up till to this day. Like, yeah, there was some good.
Yeah, it's still relevant to like things that are happening right now. Like it's crazy, and those are some of my favorite. Where you know you can go back and watch them, and it feels like this is a brand new sitcom that just came out recently.
Right.
So it's forever lasting. How were you in the cast? You know, when you all had to adjust to that new movement, what was that like for you all? Because I know you guys were on set with each other, you know, making weekly, you know, films. So how was that to transition from, you know, we're on set every day together to, you know, now we're like in this gray area?
Actors, you kind of roll with the punches. I mean, you know, some people make friends and connections. Like Jason Weaver and I stay close. I love Essence. Every time I see her, it's love, but it's not like, you know, we hang out and bring our kids to play with each other.
Right.
JJ, he's also on a show that Bentley does, so I see him kind of in passing a lot. I mean, we even talked about the Smart Guy reboot, and they did a script that he wrote. Him and Taj wrote together, and we talked about it a little bit. You know, it is what it is. I ran into Taj one day.
You've been trying to skip over. You talked about
a lot of stuff. Like, you got to keep up. You got to keep up. Take notes.
It could be a chance for a reboot. Is that what that was? It could be.
Well, you know, it's funny. Before COVID and everything shut down, I ran into JJ, and he told me that him and Taj wrote a script. Without giving too much away about their script, it's like, you know, it's a pickup, it's a reboot type of thing. The one has kids, and but you know, it's a cool script. But it ties everybody in together. And I read it, and I said, not bad. You know, so where are you guys at with it? Well, we're bringing it to this and such and so forth, and da. And we'll see, and then we'll keep you, you know. And then COVID shut everything down. Yeah, so now it's fun. I keep getting asked about it. What about this reboot? I hear there's talks. Oh, there's talks. We talking right now. We talk all day. But
Jesus Christ. Always talking.
There's always talks. There's all type of stuff. So we'll see. You know, we'll see when they pull up. But everybody's still cool as hell. You know, I remember I went to this was I think 10, 15 years ago, whenever it was a long time ago. And I went into I think it was a party or whatever, and there was a kid like in the corner, and he was just looking at me and laughing. And I'm like, it's so funny, you know. I'm not, you know. And I stared, and it was Taj. I was like, dude, I haven't seen that. It blew my mind. He was grown ass.
Grew up, yeah. Grew up.
Look at this boy, you know. But yeah, man. But everybody's good. Everybody's with it. So I'm sure if that, you know, if they put it together and said, hey, let's do this reboot. Why not? Sure, cut the check.
Nice.
So then we see you go from smart guy, and then you start entering into the other side, which is filming movies. Which was one of our favorites, Sweet Pea and Baby Boy.
Yeah.
So for starters, where between that time from Smart Guy before you got to Baby Boy, what was life like for you? What was your career like at that time?
It was fun. You know, the interesting thing was I always wanted to do movies. I would do small films, and like TV films. Ernest Green's Story with me and Morris Chestnut. I did one called Freedom Song, where it was about the first sit-ins in Mississippi. This was for TNT. Jason Weaver was in this as well. We filmed it out in Wilmington, North Carolina. Anyway, I did a scene where we had to sit at the counters and get arrested purposely, you know, because it was about the first sit-ins in Mississippi. And little did I know that scene was the scene that John Singleton was watching, and he said, that's going to be Sweet Pea and Baby Boy. And, you know, he said, I spoke to your mother. I told her I wanted to make you a star, like a movie star, rather, like I made your brother. So he sent me this script called Baby Boy. I read the thing, and it blew my mind, man. You know, there's a lot of similarities in my life that he had no clue about, you know, which Pierre kind of touched on that as far as, you know, my personal life and the actual character itself. But, you know, for me, what he really did for me was he let Hollywood know that I could be respected as a serious actor. And coming from sitcom, I wasn't given that chance, you know, until Baby Boy. So, you know, that whole experience was super surreal. I mean, you know, I had a lot of, you know, we were talking about, before you asked me the question, what was life after Smart Guy before leading up to Baby Boy? And, you know, let's see, I was around 20, let's see, I stopped 21 to about 24. So it was 3 years of, you know, young adulthood, you know what I mean, moving out, coming into my own. I did have a like entourage type of crowd of friends, but, you know, these are day one guys, but, you know, out here, it wasn't really gang banging per se, but we did hang tough together in a clique, you know what I mean? A couple guys were affiliated. A couple guys were from the, you know, and a couple of my closest friends are from Compton. One was born in South Central. So I was out there a lot. I was born in Pacoima and raised in the Valley. You know what I mean? But it was just one of those things where when I read the script, it touched home because I had literally gotten to an incident with a real close friend of mine where we were in an altercation with some younger gentlemen.
Younger gentlemen, I heard that.
You know what I mean? So when I read that part of the script, I was like, oh, hell yeah.
Right.
So, you know, so when we filmed this, you know, it was still, you know, John had work to do in regards to me because he was a supreme motivator. So what he did was we did a lot of rehearsals. First day of rehearsal, I remember, like the audition, I showed up, had a tank top, shaved my head. I'd lost like 30 pounds, you know, put on some muscle and was like, yeah, I'm ready. You know, I read the part, you know, fired up, throwing chairs and stuff. You know, all right, we're done. He looked at me. He's like, all right, man, good. You look good. You look good. Thanks for coming in. I was like, all right, man. And I left. And a month passed where I didn't hear anything. A month means you ain't get the part. You know what I mean? A month means move the hell on with life. What else are you doing? Let's get another sitcom. You know what I mean? So
right.
I got the call. I was out with my friends, and I was so excited. So anyway, so we started rehearsals. And the first day of rehearsal, you know, it was interesting. You know, we did the table read. A friend of mine who I'd met a few times by the name of Angel Conwell was there. And she said, yeah, I'm here to read too. I said, oh, you reading? She said, yeah, I think I play Snoop's girlfriend. I was like, I read the script. He doesn't have a girlfriend. You might, you know what, let's go in. You know, one thing led to another. And you found out she was playing my girlfriend. And then we became close. And we kind of to me, it was like we had to kind of get to know each other for the role. So that happened. I was this closed off, tough guy. So I didn't really make friends with everybody on set. That really wasn't my thing. And that became something else that we can talk about later too, depending on how long the Zoom done cut out on us again. But the first, what we did, we had a couple of rehearsals that had nothing to do with the script. It was just little exercises and stuff. So we go through these exercises, and I was just kind of, yelling and making faces and this and that and the third. And after like the second day, John addresses everybody and he goes, all right, not bad. We got some fine tuning to do. Some of us, and he looks directly at me, need to step it up. All right, see you guys tomorrow. And we left, and I was like, the fuck? Okay, damn. All right. You know what I mean? So, I thought about that all night, came in the next day, and I mean, the switch was flipped. And nice. I sat down. I remember they said, all right, first exercise for the day. Who wants to sit in the middle? And we're all going to ask you questions. I said, I'll do it. All right. I sat down in the middle. All right, what's happening? Let's go. So, Sweet Pea, what? And I was fired up the entire thing. Me and Rames got into 3 physical altercations throughout this rehearsal. Now, the entire time, John Singleton is holding this video camera, and he doesn't know what the word cut means. He's just holding his camera and letting us go off. And he's holding it, and he said, all right, next setup, Wooty-Woo comes in, you're in there, and go. And then he's just boom. So, I'm going at it with Ving. And I kind of gave you a brief background of my background, right? So what it was I had gotten a one wrestling match with Ving earlier, and and I'm just talking shit the whole time. What? You ain't nothing, this and that, da. And he's kind of going like, all right, youngster, all right, kind of let me kind of get the better of him or whatever, maybe I was just so fired up or whatever, right? So at one point, as it's getting really, really heated towards the end, he goes, shut your little ass up. And I'm like, who are you talking to, cuz? You're like, what you mean, cuz? Where are you from? And I said, I'm from 60 Crip, right? And he goes, shut your ass up. You from the Valley. And I went, what? I said, man, I'll kill you right here. And he said, you ain't gonna do shit. How you gonna kill me, punk? And I looked over at AJ, who played his wife, his girl. I kind of looked at her. She looked at me like, what you gonna do? And I looked at him and I said, bang, bang, you dead. He said, them ain't no guns, chump. Smacked my hand, picked me up, slams me on the floor. We're rolling around on the ground, dude, I'm telling you. And we're rolling around and all this. And in my head, I'm going, we acting, right?
Hell no.
And I was kind of like wrestling with, and I'm telling you, John is just camera point. He is not giving a damn. We'll see where this goes. And it came to a point where I was all like, again, I rolled over on top of him. At one point, I was like, what? You ain't got nothing? And then I just felt the man strength kick in, I'm getting overpowered here. This is going to be a problem. And I remember I grabbed his forehead, and I kissed him. I was like, cut, nigga.
Wow.
And we stood up, and everybody's like, oh, yeah, okay, that was it, And then that was the end. John was just like, all right, good. Okay, see you guys tomorrow, right? We're walking off. And Ving pulls me over to the side and goes, damn, man, would you take acting classes overnight? That was, what happened to you? Like, you was a whole different person. And I was just like, hey, well, he called my name and called me out. I just had to kind of, he's like, yeah, good job, youngster. See you tomorrow. I was like, shit. And that just changed everything for me as far as my level of I was more focused. I did kind of understand that this is, it's a job. You didn't just get the part because you look the part. He had me shadow a guy by the name of Big Cat who was from the 60s. And he was like, yeah, man, you got the look in your face, but real gangsters don't do all that yelling. You're doing a lot of yelling. Calm all that down. You got to just internalize it. And that's what John kind of said.
Right, nice.
You got to learn to take all that and bring it in and do the yelling through your eyes. You know what I mean? I was like, hell, how do you do that? He's like, well, you close your mouth and scream. Like, you know what I mean? And he talked me through that process. And once I got, it felt like Rocky III, the Eye of the Tiger. Once I got the look down, it was effortless for the rest of the film. When the very first day of filming was the scene in the garage where I said, I want to be saved. Right before we started filming it, John said, like, this is the one where we're sending to Paramount to let them know we got to film, and I need y'all all locked in. So, Omar, whatever you need to do, jump up and down, do some jumping jacks, do some push-ups, get your heart racing before I say action. I was like, yes, sir. So everything, camera was getting set. I was on the ground, huffing. By the time he said action, my heart was beating out my chest.
Nice.
And that kind of set the tone for me throughout my career. You know,
Right.
for action, I got to lock in. Whatever I got to do, I'll do. You see me doing push-ups, like, oh, Omar getting ready to bring it. Like, yeah, I need my heart bumping. I need it going. You know, and that was just one of the motivation techniques that he brought. And then that whole experience through filming it, man. I mean, it was great. It was great. It was very real. You know, we were in no sets. We was in the hood. You know, I remember we was chasing down Snoop, and we was cut. And niggas was yelling, "What? You ain't know I." Like, he would hear stuff. You know what I mean? And we had security, and well, you know, Snoop would show up on set and spoke. You want to hit this? Oh yeah, no, nigga, we filming. Like, you know,
just giving you like that real experience, so you
Oh,
know, like,
it
so it
was-
can be as authentic as possible.
as possible. It was dope. It was dope. One of the best experiences of my life.
And then it's like now we're full circle, right? Because now you're back into sitcoms and you're back working with Miss Conwell. So and Pierre, I know we mentioned earlier too, you kind of already hit it, but you have worked with her as well in The Wash.
Right.
Pierre, how is that? And I know you know, I think because Omar, y'all have some history, right? Y'all have
Who, me and Pierre? Yeah, we go way back like 4 flats in Cadillac. That's my dog. Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah, she was in the wash. She was in the wash with me. She was a very pretty girl, and I never seen her before at that time. And a lot of guys was ogling on her, but you know, you couldn't look more than about 2 feet because Omar was right there. Like I thought that nigga was he was in the wash the way he was every day. I was like,
you ain't never lied.
Okay. I was like, okay, and you brought Baby Boy on the set of the wash, like, you know, y'all talking to the girl. I was like, okay, brother, you got it, homie. I just want to say hello. And she was my girlfriend. I damn near, we had COVID back then. Step back 6 feet for this fool come run up on us and act a damn fool with me. So we're going to do it 6 feet. Our whole scene was down to 6 feet. I slid close to her, wanted to split some money. After they said cut, I was 6 feet back. I looked at Omar. Are we cool, Omar? We cool? All right, bro.
Pierre, was that the first time you had ever met Omar? Was that like your first experience?
Yeah. Dude, that was the introduction.
Yes, Pitbull.
They said
Omar.
cut, they just kept going. It was a lot of moving parts in that, bro. I got some stories that are really, but I want to, because we feel like family. I want to tell you my story. I can't, not right now. When I see you, we'll talk about it. But there was some shared history there, and you know, she was real. We were real close. You know, we were you know, when we were together, we were together. That's what we would see each other every day, type of thing. But yeah, I'm doing this movie. Come down. Where are you filming it? They filmed it at an actual car wash next to a hotel. The dressing rooms were hotel rooms. I was like, what time we got to be on set? Nigga, when are we going? Baby, I'm leaving. Well, let me get my shoes. Call time is 6. I'll be ready at 5:45.
Okay.
And I remember getting there, and she was on set getting makeup done, and I was in her dressing room, hotel room. Right. And there was a knock at the door, and it was Dre. And Dre opened the door. Was like, hey, is Angel here? I was like, yeah, she on set, homie. Oh, all right. You know what I mean? All right, yeah. What you coming to her dressing room for? In the hotel room. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you know, and that kind of set my whole tone. So yeah, every time I was there, I was here. What's up? Where's everybody at?
And now y'all are back working together.
Yeah.
For family time. Tell us a little bit about that. I know it airs on Wednesdays, but tell us a little bit about family time.
Finally into family time. I know Chris is watching like, ain't this a family time promotion?
Look,
we're gonna talk about everything but family time. So family time was fun, man. So I did a sitcom. I was offered a role on one of Bentley Kyle Evans. I never met Bentley before in my life. It's Bentley Kyle Evans. He's executive producer of Martin, Jamie Foxx, and he's got a show called Love That Girl. So they want you to play one of her love interests that just show up, you know, one role. And I said, all right, no problem. And I nailed it. It was fun. I came in. I did it at a great time. And he's like, man, I got another script for a show called Family Time. You want to come you want to read it? Come and read for me if you like it, this and that. And I read it, and I was like, this thing is great. It's him and I have the same type of humor. You know what I mean? We have a lot of similarities. Just our humor is the same. You know, we laugh all the time. So when I read the script, it's loosely based on his life, which I kind of didn't get until a few years of working with him. You know, he has a daughter, he has a son, him and his wife, just the way they, you know, go about things, money, all of that is really Bentley's life. And I was like, dude, we're kind of, because your humor is great. So anyway, so we clicked so well. I read the script I came in and read for him on a Thursday, and then we filmed season 1 by like the following Thursday. Like we filmed the whole damn thing.
Wow.
He sent me, we're on that like that Tyler Perry schedule type of thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's
Quick.
Man. So when I was at home, I remember I said, all right, man, we got you got the role. We send you the script. And I read the script and I opened up the first page and it was like, let me look at the cast. I always look at the cast. Oh, your wife is Angel Conwell. Oh, shit. That's not good. We're friends. Yeah, that's great and all. But now I got to tell my wife that my ex is playing my wife on TV. This is not going to be a fun conversation. So it wasn't. And but she's I get it. It's business is business. I'm like, you want me to turn it down? I'll turn it down. Say it right now. I'll turn it down. Turn it down. Okay, well, let's think about this. We got a house. We got a baby on the way. Like, you sure you want to? Right. We worked it out. And then we get on set and it's a beautiful thing to be on that set. I mean, it's really family on there. His wife does the cooking. His nephew is one of the ADs. His actual son plays my son on the show. It's really a family oriented environment to be around. And then it's fun as hell. We got these stand-up comics that come in and do punch-up writing for us. So all of the ideas, I'm one of the writers and producer on the show as well. So I'll write a script or two every season. And I got a couple of my friends that I brought on as writer. And then when I meet cats, I'm like, hey, you want to be on the show? Yeah, come be on the show. You know what I mean? Everybody's been on that show. So it's last year, which was great, was over the summer, we decided to do back-to-back seasons. So we did season 7 in what was that, May? And then I joined the cast of a show called Fifth Ward in the middle out in Texas, as if I didn't have enough damn work to do. And then we did season 8 right after that. So we did 4 seasons last summer. So it was great when everything shut down. I was like, oh, we're not getting a new season. I'm like, actually, we already have one in the can. So it worked out.
Perfect. That worked out. And we're definitely glad that everything did work out. Because like you said, you guys are airing your 8th season of Family Time, which can be watched Wednesdays at 8 p.m. on Bounce TV.
Yeah.
So congratulations to that. And also a happy early birthday to you. I know you're turning 44 on Monday. I know you mentioned it earlier. I was going to sing and everything, but then, you messed it up. Now, as a birthday gift, I'm going to let Pierre be your phone call. We're going to play a quick game before I let you head out. So Comedy Hype just released our first card game, which is trivia based, all about comedy. I'm just going to ask you 3 questions just to test your knowledge and see what we can get from you. And then because your birthday is coming, if you need to use Pierre, we can let you use Pierre.
There it is.
I'm not sure what that means, but go ahead.
Right. Exactly.
All right. Well, look, I
think a lifeline. Like, I don't know, Pierre.
They have a little lifeline to call.
There you go. We got it.
All right. So here's the first question. What type of car and color did Mike Lowrey drive in Bad Boys?
Mike Lowrey, the first Bad Boy?
Yes.
She's like, I'm not allowed to tell you that part. Car and color did Mike Lowrey drive in Bad Boys? Damn, that's a good one. I guess I don't get no multiple choice, no hints. I would say it was a Ferrari and it was a red. There was
that's your final answer?
What's the prize? Because I'll be more motivated to use my
I heard that.
What do I win here? Good job and no? Okay. Black Maserati. Final answer.
Right.
That wasn't quite it, but it's okay. We got 2 more. What
was it? I'd love to know what the real answer was.
I can't give you the answer.
You don't even know. She's like, I don't know.
I know the answer. I got the answer in front of me.
You just guess it.
All right. Here's the next one, Omar. How did James Evans die on Good Times?
Oh, that was before my time. Do I look that old? Good Times? How did he die? Shit, a heart attack? Out all black men. No, that's
you got a lifeline. You haven't used that.
I can use it. How many questions am I getting?
You got 3. You got 1 more.
How many am I supposed to get right in order to be considered knowledgeable?
I mean, at this point.
Yeah. Okay, let's use the lifeline. How did he die? Pierre. And he's off. Nigga, lifeline my ass. He just cut out. You're like, nigga, nope. You on your
lifeline
own.
Cut.
I'll say heart attack. Was it a heart attack?
Omar, we go. No.
It was no. Is another no?
Not quite. Not
Sorry.
quite. It's okay though.
Was it a stroke? We said not quite.
For your birthday, I'm gonna stop it at 2 just for you. 44 and the 2 is 22.
I wanted to see what I was gonna use Pierre.
You okay? You want to see what the third
but
one
he
is?
gone now. I just, jeez.
That's all right. I appreciate you playing with me, Omar. You're absolutely hilarious, and this is the thing I like: the fact that you still try.
Yeah, I still try.
Yeah, you still try. I want to know: does anyone in the comments know the answers to these questions? Omar tried, and that was beautiful. Omar, we appreciate you. But if you know the answers, please let us know down in the comments below.
It was a Pinto.
For coming to Hype News Show, I'm Symphony.
I'm gonna watch the movie now. I'm gonna join in on the live. I know what it was.
Do you know the comedy culture? Play Comedy Hype, the game. Out now.